My dear friends, tonight I want to speak to you about one thing that may be quietly shaping your life more than your work, more than your plans, more than your goals, more than your background, more than your circumstances. And that one thing is this: you must stop living in the consciousness of lack. Not merely stop saying negative words, not merely stop complaining for a few moments, not merely try to think positively while still feeling empty inside. I am speaking about something much deeper. I am speaking about the inner state from which you live, the place within you where you quietly define yourself, the invisible atmosphere you carry through your day, the consciousness you return to when no one is watching and no one is encouraging you. Every moment you are living from a state. Either you are living from lack or you are living from fulfillment. Either you are living from absence or you are living from presence. Either you are living from wanting or you are living from being. And my dear friends, there is no neutral state in consciousness. You are always assuming something. You are always accepting something as true. You are always planting something in the soil of your deeper mind. When you say, "I want success," you may think you are moving towards success. But if the feeling underneath those words is, "I do not have it," then you are actually affirming absence. When you say, "I need more money," you may think you are being practical. But if the feeling underneath those words is fear, insufficiency, and pressure, then you are dwelling in the consciousness of not enough. When you say, "I wish I were successful," you may think you are expressing desire. But if you remain inwardly identified as the one who is not successful, then you keep success at a distance. You see the subtle difference? The words may sound innocent, but the state behind the words is creative. The universe does not respond merely to what you say you want. Life responds to what you are being. Your outer world is the objectification of your inner assumptions. What you accept inwardly, what you feel to be true, what you consistently return to in imagination and inner conversation becomes the pattern from which your experience unfolds. This is why some people work tirelessly and still remain in lack. They are taking action, yes, but the action is rooted in the state of not having. They strive, push, chase, compare, and exhaust themselves, but inwardly they remain identified with absence, and the outer world continues to reflect the inner identity. Tonight I want to show you how to move from the consciousness of lack to the consciousness of fulfillment, from wanting success to being successful, from seeking abundance to embodying abundance, from trying to become worthy to living as one who already knows their worth. Because success, properly understood, is not first a thing you acquire. It is a consciousness you assume. Most people believe success is a future event. They say, "When I become successful, then I will feel peaceful. When I become successful, then I will feel confident. When I become successful, then I will feel free. When I become successful, then I will finally live as the person I want to be." But this is backward. The feeling must come first. The consciousness must come first. The inner identity must come first. Success is not something you chase from a place of lack. Success is something that begins to express when you occupy the state of being successful now. Now, I know the mind may resist this. The mind may say, "But how can I feel successful when my circumstances do not show success? How can I feel abundant when my bank account does not show abundance? How can I feel fulfilled when the outer world still looks incomplete?" And this is exactly where the turning point is. If you allow your present circumstances to determine your inner state, you will continue reproducing the past, because your present circumstances are not the cause of your future. They are the harvest of previous assumptions. They are the echo of old states. They are the shadow of past inner conversations. They are not final unless you keep giving them final authority. This is one of the most important things you can understand. What you see now is not necessarily what must continue. It is what has already been formed. But what is being formed next depends on the consciousness you occupy now. You are not here to let facts define your inner world. You are here to let your inner world become the cause of new facts. Every great achievement in human history began with someone who refused to let present evidence become final truth. Every invention, every movement, every work of art, every healing, every business, every transformation began first in consciousness. Someone saw what was not yet visible. Someone felt what was not yet confirmed. Someone assumed a state that their senses denied. And because they persisted in that inner state, the world eventually reorganized around it. So the one thing you must stop doing is allowing present facts to control your inner conversation. Your inner conversation is your state of consciousness in motion. Listen to what you say to yourself throughout the day. I cannot afford it. It is too hard. I am not ready. I am not qualified. This always happens to me. People like me never succeed. I am behind. I do not have enough. These are not harmless thoughts. They are instructions. They are assumptions. They are the seeds of tomorrow's experience. And if you keep planting lack, do not be surprised when lack continues to grow. But you can begin planting differently. You can begin speaking from fulfillment. You can begin feeling from fulfillment. You can begin walking, choosing, working, resting, and imagining from the consciousness of one who is already successful. Now, this does not mean you pretend in a shallow way. This does not mean you lie to yourself. This does not mean you ignore practical responsibilities. It means you stop confusing temporary appearance with ultimate reality. You learn to live from the end. You ask yourself, how would I feel if I were already expressing the success I desire? Not how will I get it? Not when will it arrive? Not why is it not here yet? But how would I feel if the state were already mine? Would you feel calmer? Would you feel more dignified? Would you feel grateful? Would you feel freer? Would you feel generous? Would you feel more certain in your decisions? Would you stop chasing approval? Would you stop announcing your limitations? Would you speak differently? Would you walk differently? Would you respond to problems differently? That feeling is the doorway. Enter it, because feeling is the secret. The subconscious mind accepts what you feel to be true. It does not argue with your philosophy. It does not care how many spiritual books you have read. It accepts your dominant feeling, your repeated assumption, your inner conviction. If you feel yourself to be lacking, it expresses lack. If you feel yourself to be successful, it begins expressing success. If you feel yourself to be unsupported, it reflects experiences of struggle. If you feel yourself to be guided, supported, and supplied, you begin to notice, attract, and act from that state. This is why the night is so important. Before sleep, your conscious mind softens, your defenses lower. The deeper mind becomes receptive. This is a sacred time, and many people misuse it. They fall asleep, rehearsing worry, replaying rejection, fearing tomorrow, counting what is missing, and then wonder why they wake up in the same consciousness. Tonight, do something different. When you lie down, close your eyes and ask yourself, how would I feel if I were now the person I desired to be? Do not make this complicated. Feel the naturalness of success. Feel the quiet satisfaction. Feel the relief. Feel the gratitude. Feel the inner certainty. Feel that success is not something you are hunting, but something you are expressing. Let yourself fall asleep not in want, but in fulfillment. Not in pressure, but in peace. Not in fear, but in the assumption that success is already your state of being. This is not a small practice. This is planting your future in the most fertile soil of consciousness. Now, I want you to understand something about action. Some people hear this teaching and think, so I do not need to do anything. That is not what I am saying. Action has its place, but action must flow from the right state. Action from lack is frantic. Action from lack says, I must make this happen or I am nothing. Action from lack carries fear, urgency, desperation, and self-rejection. But action from fulfillment is different. Action from fulfillment is inspired. It says, I move because life is moving through me. I take this step because it is aligned. I work not to prove my worth, but to express the worth I already know. The same action can be completely different depending on the consciousness behind it. You can send the email from fear or from confidence. You can begin the project from desperation or from inspiration. You can speak to someone from need or from wholeness. You can build your dream while feeling empty, or you can build from the deep knowing that the dream already lives within you. When you occupy the consciousness of success, your actions become clearer. You notice opportunities you would have missed in lack. You speak with a different tone. You make decisions from a different energy. You no longer sabotage what you desire because success begins to feel natural. The state knows what to do. This is a profound truth. The state of success contains within it the actions, ideas, timing, people, and opportunities that correspond to success. Your task is to enter the state first. Then action follows with intelligence. Now, let us speak about persistence. Because the outer world may not immediately match your new assumption. It may still show you evidence of the old state for a while. The bill may still arrive. The bank account may still look the same. The opportunity may still seem delayed. The relationship may still feel uncertain. The body may still carry symptoms. And in those moments, you will be tempted to return to lack. You will be tempted to say, see, nothing has changed. But remember, the outer world is a delayed reflection. What you see now is the echo of yesterday's consciousness. Your present assumption, if persisted in, becomes tomorrow's fact. So when circumstances contradict your assumption, do not let them pull you back. Let them strengthen your loyalty to the new state. Say, this is old evidence. I do not have to identify with it. I remain in the consciousness of fulfillment. This is faith. Faith is not merely believing something may happen someday. Faith is loyalty to the unseen assumption. Faith says, I know what my senses are showing me, but I also know that consciousness is cause. I choose the inner reality from which my outer world must eventually take shape. Most people say, I will believe it when I see it. But the law of consciousness says, you will see it because you believe it. The evidence comes after the assumption, not before. You do not wait for proof in order to enter the state. You enter the state and proof begins to organize around it. So throughout your day, whenever you notice yourself slipping into lack, pause and ask, how would I be thinking right now if I were already successful? How would I feel right now if I were already abundant? How would I respond right now if I knew life was supporting me? How would I carry myself right now if fulfillment were my natural state? This question returns you to the end, and every return matters. Every return strengthens the new consciousness. Every return weakens the old pattern. Every return says, this is who I am now. Now let us examine the state of lack more closely. Lack is not only about money. Lack is an inner posture. You can be surrounded by opportunities and still live in lack. You can have resources and still feel afraid. You can receive love and still feel unwanted. You can have achievements and still feel unsuccessful. Because lack is not primarily a condition. It is a consciousness. It says there is not enough. I am not enough. Life is not enough. Time is not enough. Love is not enough. Opportunity is not enough. And when you live in this state, you begin to interpret everything through insufficiency. A delay becomes proof that you are forgotten. A challenge becomes proof that you are failing. Another person's success becomes proof that there is less for you. A mistake becomes proof that you are not capable. But abundance consciousness sees differently. Abundance says there is supply, there is guidance, there are unseen ways, there is enough wisdom for this moment, there is enough life within me, there is more possible than what I currently see. Success consciousness says, I am not trying to become someone worthy. I am expressing the worth that already lives within me. This is the shift from absence to presence, from wanting to being, from chasing to expressing, from I need to I am. Now, the words I am are sacred. Every time you say I am, you are declaring your identity. Be careful what you attach to that holy phrase. Do not say casually, I am broke, I am stuck, I am failing, I am unlucky, I am always behind, I am not good enough. These declarations shape consciousness. Instead, begin to choose new declarations, not mechanically, but with feeling. I am successful, I am guided, I am supported, I am abundant, I am creative, I am prepared, I am worthy. I am expressing the success that already lives within me. Again, do not merely repeat words, feel them. Let them become your inner home. 1,000 affirmations without feeling may do little. One assumption deeply felt can change the direction of your life. Now, what happens in the interval between assumption and manifestation? This is very important. The interval is not empty. It is not punishment. It is not proof that nothing is happening. The interval is gestation. When a seed is planted in the ground, there is a period when nothing is visible above the soil. But invisibility is not inactivity. The seed is opening. Roots are forming. Life is moving beneath the surface. Your assumption works the same way. When you assume success, there may be a period where the outer world still appears unchanged, but beneath the surface, your perception is shifting. Your ideas are shifting. Your confidence is shifting. Your choices are shifting. The field around you is rearranging. Do not dig up the seed with doubt. Do not keep asking, where is it? Every anxious check often returns you to the state of not having. Instead, live as though the seed is growing. You do not need to see the roots to trust that life is moving. Let your inner conversation be, it is unfolding. The state is taking root. I am living from fulfillment now. Success is expressing through me. I do not need to chase what I am becoming. And then take the next inspired step. Now, let us speak about failure and setback. Many people interpret a setback as proof that they are not successful. But when you understand consciousness, you begin to see differently. A setback may simply be the passing away of an old state. Something may fall apart because it no longer matches who you are becoming. A door may close because it belongs to the old identity. A plan may fail because it was too small for your emerging consciousness. So do not immediately call every interruption failure. Ask what is being cleared, what is being redirected, what state is this asking me to remain faithful to? Success is not the absence of challenges. Success is a state of consciousness that uses every challenge as material for growth. The person living in lack says, this proves I cannot succeed. The person living in success says, this is part of the unfolding. I remain guided. I remain creative. I remain in the state. And because they remain in the state, they see pathways that lack could never see. Now imagine how different your life would become if you stopped saying, I want success, and began living as one who is successful. Imagine waking in the morning and before reaching for your phone, before checking the world, before letting old fear speak, you place your awareness in success. You breathe and feel, I am already the person I desire to be. Imagine walking through the day not asking, will I make it, but feeling, I am expressing it now. Imagine receiving a bill, and instead of collapsing into lack, you pause and say, I am supported. Supply moves through seen and unseen channels. I handle this from abundance, not fear. Imagine facing a problem, and instead of saying, this is too hard, you ask, how would the successful version of me respond right now? Imagine working not from desperation, but from dignity. Imagine resting without guilt, because you know success is not panic, success is alignment. Imagine speaking to yourself as someone you respect. This is how the state becomes real, not only in meditation, in the small moments, in the ordinary reactions, in the inner conversations no one hears. That is where your future is being formed. Now, my dear friends, let us be honest. At first, the old state may return often. You may catch yourself saying, I need, I want, I cannot, I do not have enough. Do not condemn yourself. Condemnation is just another form of lack. Simply notice and return. Say, that was the old consciousness speaking, I choose again. Then return to fulfillment. The spiritual path is not about never forgetting. It is about remembering more quickly. Each time you remember, the new state becomes stronger. Each time you return, the old state loses authority. Each time you choose the conscious, and over time, something beautiful happens. Success begins to feel natural, no dramatic, not forced, natural. You no longer have to convince yourself every moment. The new state becomes your resting place. You begin to think from it, act from it, decide from it, and expect from it. This is when manifestation becomes easier, because inner conflict has diminished. You are no longer saying one thing and feeling another. You are becoming unified, and a unified consciousness is powerful. Now, I want to leave you with a practical practice. Tonight, before you sleep, do not review your problems. Do not count your failures. Do not rehearse lack. Do not fall asleep as the person who is waiting for success. Close your eyes and ask, how would I feel if success were already my natural expression? Then let the feeling come. Perhaps it is peace. Perhaps it is gratitude. Perhaps it is confidence. Perhaps it is freedom. Perhaps it is a quiet smile in the heart. Let that feeling fill you. Then imagine a simple scene that implies success is already real. Maybe someone congratulates you. Maybe you are sitting in your workspace feeling deeply fulfilled. Maybe you are looking at your life with gratitude. Maybe you hear yourself say, thank you, it all worked out beautifully. Enter that scene. Feel it. Let it become natural. Then fall asleep in that consciousness. In the morning, before the world speaks, return to it again. Say inwardly, I am not waiting to become successful. I am living from success now. I am not chasing fulfillment. I am expressing fulfillment. I am not lack seeking abundance. I am abundance learning to express in form. I am the consciousness from which my world unfolds. Carry that through the day. When you slip, return. When evidence contradicts you, return. When fear speaks, return. When old habits arise, return. This is your work. Simple but powerful. Now, as we come to the close of our time together, remember this. Success is not a future state to be achieved. It is a present state to be assumed. The consciousness of lack perpetuates lack. The consciousness of success expresses success. The world is yourself pushed out. Change your concept of yourself, and your world begins to change. There is no other place to begin. Do not wait for the world to call you successful before you feel successful. Do not wait for money to arrive before you enter abundance. Do not wait for applause before you express confidence. Do not wait for proof before you become faithful to the state. Assume it now. Live from it now. Be it now. For what you assume with feeling, you become in consciousness. And what you become in consciousness must find a way to express in your life. The power is within you. The choice is yours. The time is now. Stop living in the consciousness of lack. Stop waiting to be successful. Stop placing your good in a distant future. Return to the sacred present. Enter the state. Feel the wish fulfilled. Walk as one who is guided. Act as one who is successful. Speak as one who is supported. Rest as one who knows the seed is growing. And then watch with gratitude and wonder as your world begins to reflect the new consciousness you have chosen. My dear friends, this is the law. This is the way. Test it. Prove it. Live it. And go forth tonight not as someone seeking success from the outside, but as someone expressing success from within. Because success is not something you pursue. Success is something you become conscious of being. Assume it now. Live from it now. Be it now. And let your life become the evidence of the consciousness you have finally chosen to occupy.